All right, guys. So we are now in week 4 of the 2022 season. And of course, we are a quarter of the way done through this season. Once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the Steel Twins for inviting me on their channel to do week 3 NFL predictions. I definitely appreciate that. And joining them on their channel. I would recommend subscribing to their channel. They are absolutely cool people to be talking to, especially if you are a Steelers fan or you are an NFL fan in general. So I will put a link in the description down below so you guys can go and subscribe to Steel Twins. Huge shout out to them. Once again, guys, thank you very much. So, let us get started with the Week 4 NFL predictions. So, the Miami Dolphins taking on the Cincinnati Bengals at Paycor. So, where do I see this prediction going? I would actually say the Dolphins just because they went 3-0 for the first time since 2002. I think they're going to get their first loss here this week. Just because Tua Tagovailoa uh, suffered a concussion during that game. Yeah, he came back in, but he is still in concussion protocol. Jalen Waddle is dealing with a groin injury, and of course, I mean, we all know Teddy Bridgewater's an average quarterback. He's not great. He's not great at all, but he's average. So uh, but the Bengals, of course, you got the Bengals wearing their special white tiger uniform. So that's about to be debated for this season. So uh, with this prediction alone, I have to go with the Bengals just because I just think their team is much healthier. I think they're going to win it and I think they will beat the Dolphins, although I think it's going to be a close game, regardless if Tua plays or not, or Jalen Waddle plays or not. My final score for it, Bengals 21, the Dolphins 17. All right, let us head down to London, England. Jolly old London, England here. So, to watch the Minnesota Vikings take on the New Orleans Saints. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? So, I did hear about with Jameis Winston, who suffered a back injury. He has some sort of back fracture from his L1 to his L4 vertebrae. I know I did talk about it on the Steel Twins' channel. Uh, that was a big factor for the last game when the Saints actually faced the Panthers. Of course, the Panthers got their first win of the season against the Saints. I think this injury is really going to affect Jameis Winston, not to mention Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas, surprisingly injured. So they're both questionable for Sunday. But you got to go with the Vikings. Yeah, Dalvin Cook. Probably not going to play in this game. I mean, what can I freaking say? The dude is as fragile as glass. I mean, seriously, he can't even freaking stay healthy for one damn season. Like, literally. I mean, they have Alexander Madison, very reliable backup running back to back up Dalvin Cook. And, of course, Justin Jefferson, I think he's going to be battling it out with Marshawn Lattimore. I think the Vikings are going to be victorious in this one. I'm taking my edge to the Vikings to win this game. Vikings 34, the Saints 21. Okay, so moving on. The Cleveland Browns takes on the Atlanta Falcons in Georgia. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? So, the Browns right now are looking really good. Jacoby Brissett is looking really good. Nick Chubb, of course, he's looking awesome as ever. The Falcons, they're starting to get their momentum going. We're seeing Drake London as becoming the security blanket for Marcus Mariota. Of course, we saw Cordero Patterson get a NFC Offensive Player of the Week for week 3. He did fantastic. I expect Cordero Patterson to do the same thing with the Cleveland Browns. Uh, but I feel like, uh, despite with all the speculations with Cleveland and Atlanta, I am going to give my win to the Cleveland Browns on this one. I just feel like Falcons, yeah, they got some work to do, but I do expect this to be a very competitive game for uh, the Browns versus the Falcons. I am predicting the Browns will win this game 27 Browns, Falcons 24. Okay, so the Washington Commanders going to the Dallas Cowboys. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? I am going to say this is, I usually say the Commanders just because uh, Carson Wentz has just been uh, good for this football team, and but you can't underestimate the Cowboys. The Cooper Rush mania is here in Dallas, and they absolutely have been pulling upsets against the Bengals and even the Giants. So I expect the Cowboys to keep on winning this one. I think this is going to be an upset uh, for this game. Dallas, I think they're going to win it. Yeah, Zeke Elliott scores first touchdown. This guy has been looking very slow. Tony Pollard has been looking like a leading back for the Cowboys, but still, Zeke Elliott is still that number one guy, regardless of how he is. And especially uh, that team. So I'm giving my initial prediction win to the Dallas Cowboys. Expect the Cowboys to win this game 24-20. Okay, so the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. And this is a very interesting game. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? Uh, Usually I would say Seattle, but I think the Lions, there's something about the Lions that I'm really starting to like. Their culture is really coming together, and I think the Lions are definitely going to win this one. Yeah, DeAndre Swift is probably not going to play. Of course, they got Jamal Williams, who's just been an absolute reliable running back for the Lions ever since he arrived in Detroit. Uh, as a as a former Green Bay Packer, so, and of course, their defense has been getting really well. Amon-Ra St. Brown has just been an absolute beast for that offense. So, definitely someone Jared Goff can depend on. Same way with TJ Hawkinson. I am definitely going to go with the Detroit Lions to win this game over Seattle. The Lions 28, the Seahawks 20. Okay, so this is basically a game against the bad and the ugly. So the Tennessee Titans uh, travels to the Indianapolis Colts to face Indianapolis. So where do I see this going with this prediction? Yeah, these two teams have been very shaky. Of course, Tennessee got their ass smoked by the Bills, and of course, they did win their last game. Indianapolis, same way, they upset the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 1-1-1. Uh, I do expect Pittman to do more on this offense, as well as Jonathan Taylor. Matt Ryan, yeah, he's been shaky as well, but I feel like with this prediction, I feel like the Colts are going to win this, and not to mention, what's his name? Uh, Darius. I want to call him Darius Leonard. I don't want to call him Shaquille Leonard. It just sounds weird. It's always been Darius Leonard. So, uh, Darius Leonard is going to be back. He just recorded his full practice just today. I feel like the Colts are going to win this game. The Colts 24, the Titans 17. Okay, so moving on, the Chicago Bears travels to the New York Football Giants in MetLife Stadium. So, where do I see this going with this one? Now, the Bears have been looking really decent. New York, surprisingly good. I mean, that's what happens when you bring in a coach like Brian Dable, who absolutely turned Josh Allen into a superstar. I think he's doing the same thing with Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley looking like a absolute superstar for this team. And still, he is healthy. He had a injury-plagued career for the past couple of seasons. I don't think we're seeing it this way. I do expect Saquon Barkley to possibly get comeback player of the year. And possibly, maybe even work out a contract to become a full-time New York Giant. So, the Bears. Yeah, Justin Fields looking really good. So, but you got to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Giants on this one. I think the Giants are a much better team than the Bears right now. Giants 27, the Bears 13. Okay, so moving on. So, this is a very interesting game. Uh, Something I might actually watch. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson's Jacksonville Jaguars will meet with his former team that won Super Bowl 52 with the Philadelphia Eagles at Philadelphia. So where do I see this game going? Uh, Honestly, you got to respect the elephant in the room here. Yeah, Doug Peterson is starting to turn this Jacksonville Jaguars team around. Yeah, they had a bad game, but we're seeing we're seeing the real Jaguars as it was. Could actually see them in a top form uh, team. They are definitely going to be a AFC South contender. I believe they will be a contender for that division. Uh, Trevor Lawrence looking great. I mean, you have James Robinson, who is absolutely putting in that number one role. Yeah, Travis Etienne is supposed to be the number one running back for Jacksonville. He's more of a slot guy slash receiving running back. He's definitely good at that instead of running the ball and stuff. So, but the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely have the fucking firepower to get the job done and win this game. This is a Super Bowl contender for the NFC. I mean, you got Jalen Hurts, who's just looking like an absolute beast. I mean, he's looking like a Josh Allen of Philadelphia, of all things. So, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders having a great season, despite him having a injury-plagued career. And a guy who hasn't really been trusted as a running back because of his uh, injury history. So, uh, yeah, offense, defense of the Eagles, absolutely phenomenal. I have to go with the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game uh, for this game. 34 Eagles, the Jacksonville Jaguars 21. Okay, so the New York Football Jets taking on our Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Second home game for the Steelers. So, where do I see this going with this prediction? So, I am very concerned with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Mitch Trubisky is starting to look like absolute shit. I mean, when is it going to be time when Pittsburgh decides to bet it all on black and put Kenny Pickett in? Because this is the reason why we drafted Kenny Pickett in the first place. He is supposed to be our quarterback. I believe he is ready to start anytime. Our offensive line has been looking better. They have been stepping up. They did step up against the Cleveland Browns game. And of course, Mitch Trubisky, he was only sacked once or twice. I don't know if I was correct on that one. If I'm not, I do apologize. But that's the whole thing. Mitch Trubisky is not the solution for Pittsburgh right now. He is just starting to look like the old Mitch Trubisky who just looks like total crap. And the Jets, again, so they just activated Zach Wilson from injury reserve. He has been cleared to play in this game. And of course, TJ Watt still missing in action. And we have to beat these guys to get our first win at home. It's going to be a very tough game. Also, they're missing Garrett Wilson for the Jets. He may not be able to play. So the Jets are definitely a one-trick pony team, especially now they have Zach Wilson back, which makes them twice as more dangerous. Yeah, Joe Flacco looked really great against several teams. So, but we have Alex Highsmith stepping up. Minka Fitzpatrick is in concussion protocol. So I do pray that this guy comes back. We need Minka more than ever with the absence of TJ Watt. So, but I am still giving my edge to the Pittsburgh Steelers just because I just feel like they are definitely going to be a hungry team. They are going to be starving for a win, and they will go 2-2 for this team. I am going to predict the Steelers are going to win this one. It's going to be a close game. The Steelers 20, the Jets 17. Okay, so moving on. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? So, you got to go with the favorites here. Although I believe this is going to be a high-scoring game. Josh Allen looking good. Yeah, we saw a little bit of a struggle for Buffalo against the Miami Dolphins, who had a very good defense. Baltimore has a very good defense. So I feel like Buffalo is definitely going to give the Ravens a run for their money. And the same way, Baltimore Ravens is going to give Buffalo a run for their money. So I feel like this is going to be a slugfest with this game alone. Of course, I just feel like the Bills are much better both on offense and defense. Yeah, the Ravens are the same way, but their defense, decent. So, I am going to go with the Bills on this one. So, the Bills 33, the Ravens 28. Okay, so moving on. We have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Houston Texans. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? This is my upset of the week. Give me the fucking Houston Texans on this one. Why? Uh, Pretty obviously. Uh, the Chargers have been injury riddled. You've seen Justin Herbert have a rib injury. Uh, they just lost Rashawn Slater to a season-ending injury. Uh, of course, you're seeing Mike Williams, only person stepping up, and then Keenan Allen nowhere to be seen, still injured. So, uh, kind of hope that they can actually get him back this week. So I don't know what his status is for him, but I feel like the Texans are definitely going to win this game. Just the fact that they have a very healthy team. There's not a lot of guys out there who are hurt. Uh, Damian Pierce is definitely going to step up as the running back for the Texans. And of course, Derek Stingley is definitely going to be covering Justin Herbert's weapons. So I'd say this is going to be a major upset for this game. Texans wins it 23-20. Okay, so moving on. We have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers. So where do I see this prediction going with this one? So yeah, we saw the Panthers get their first win against the Saints. And bad news for the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey is on uh, the injury report. So he's questionable to play. Hopefully he does play. If he does, it's going to be a huge impact for this Carolina offense. And I just say, Cardinals, I feel like the Cardinals may actually win this just because uh, I feel like they have more firepower than the Panthers. Yeah, I do think the Panthers is kind of the wild card of the NFC South for uh this game, but I feel like Kyler Murray is going to definitely be hungry for a victory on this one. Give me the Arizona Cardinals on this one. So again, DeAndre Hopkins suspended, and he will be back until week 7. So if they can get him back, Kyler Murray is definitely going to be a better quarterback to have his favorite weapon back. So, my prediction for this one, the Cardinals 27, the Panthers 15. Okay, so moving on, the New England Patriots taking on the Green Bay Packers. So, where do I see this prediction going with this one? So, we just heard from the report that Mac Jones is expected to miss multiple weeks due to an ankle injury. Uh, the backup for the New England Patriots is Brian Hoyer. Yeah, he's a veteran, but really he's not that great. They also have Bailey Zapp as their rookie quarterback. So uh, it would be very interesting to see Bailey Zapp to play in that role, but I don't expect that to happen. I do believe Brian Hoyer will be the starting quarterback for New England. Uh, but let's talk about Green Bay, who absolutely upset the Buccaneers uh, last week, defeating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So I think Aaron Rodgers is absolutely getting his momentum going with his new receiving core. And of course, yeah, you're seeing Devontae Adams, who's having a miserable time in Las Vegas. 0-3 for the Raiders. Still looking for a win. So I feel like this is going to be a blowout for this game. I feel like the Packers are going to beat the crap out of New England in this game. I just don't see New England winning this game. Having Brian Hoyer on there, I think they're going to get smoked. So my prediction for this one, the Green Bay Packers 28, the Patriots 13. Okay, moving on. So the Denver Broncos takes on their rival Las Vegas Raiders. Still looking for a victory, though. 0-3 for the Raiders. So where do I see this prediction going with this one? And gosh, you got to admit, I feel like they are missing their former coach for the Raiders, and I really just don't like Josh McDaniels as the head coach of Las Vegas. I mean, the dude cannot even be a fucking coach. I mean, he's a good offensive coordinator, but he's not coach material. We saw him play for the Broncos. He only had one good season, and that's it. He crapped out in Denver, got fired, took a job with New England, and then a few years later, you had Josh McDaniels almost get the job for the Colts head coaching job. And then last minute, he backs out of it, which pissed off a lot of Colts fans and pissed off a lot of NFL fans everywhere. And as a person who's from Indianapolis, I am so fucking glad that Josh McDaniels did not become the head coach of Indianapolis. He would have taken that team through the fucking mud and just blame other people for his problems and absolutely just be such a terrible coach. I mean, yeah, Josh McDaniels is a terrible coach. Yeah, I respect him for being a good offensive coordinator, but the dude cannot even play as a coach. He's not even a good coach. But you have to go with the Broncos. Russell Wilson is getting his momentum going with the Broncos. Yeah, he's been a little shaky lately, but I feel like he's getting his momentum going with this team. And I feel like the Raiders are going to go 0-4 with this game. I will be surprised if they can pull off a victory here against this game. So I'm going with the Broncos on this one. The Broncos 24, the Raiders 13. Okay, so our Sunday night football matchup, Super Bowl repeat matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So where do I see this prediction going with this one? Well, that's a tough call on this one. Um, yeah, both these teams will definitely be a hungry team. These two teams have came out last week with a loss, so expect this to be a slugfest as well. Uh, Especially when you have Patrick Mahomes coming into town in Florida, and then you have Tom Brady, the GOAT, defending his home turf. And of course, they get Mike Evans back from suspension. So I did believe that Mike Evans' suspension took a big toll on the game against Green Bay. That's why the Buccaneers lost that game. So now they are getting Mike Evans back. So that is going to be a big factor in that game. So also Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes definitely uh, utilizing his wide receivers once again. I do expect the favorites with this one. I am not talking about the Buccaneers, by the way. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I just feel like they do have the firepower to beat Tom Brady again. I feel like the defense is going to be on their toes with Patrick Mahomes. So I feel like this team, the Chiefs, are going to get a little bit of payback for their Super Bowl loss against the Buccaneers. The Chiefs 33. The Buccaneers 27. Okay, so to close out the week 4 uh, matchup. So the Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. So where do I see this prediction going with this one? Yeah, again, this is a tough call for this game. Uh yeah, you got the 49ers back home. The Rams have been looking really good. Cooper Kupp has been looking phenomenal, by the way. And their run game has been getting better. Cam Akers getting it done. So I do really expect it could go either way. It could go either way with this game, but I'm going to go with the underdog in this one. I'm going to go with the Rams for this prediction. The Rams will win it here 21-14. Okay, guys, so that is it for my predictions. So I do appreciate you guys watching these predictions. So I will be back again doing more predictions. I will try to actually make Steeler videos as well. And of course, I've got a lot of things going on, especially my remodeling and stuff. So, and I hope to show you all the final version of my man cave very soon. So stay tuned for that. So if you like this channel, if you like to subscribe to me, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. And I will see you guys later in the next video. Peace out, y'all.